and then it dies. And so the backhoe is running beautifully. I finally got it running beautifully. Did the distributor cap, did the plugs, did the wires, did all that, cleaned out the carburetor to the best that I could, all that nonsense. But after 10 or 20 minutes of running it under load, it stalls out. It starts crapping out on me. And then it dies, and I gotta let it sit a minute and fire it back up. Usually it'll fire back up if it sits for like 2-3 minutes. That tells me that we have a fuel delivery problem. And sure enough, I look down in the gas tank and there's a bunch of crap down in there. See if I can focus, you fuck. There is a bunch of crap, so I'm gonna flush it. I've unscrewed the fitting, the globe that was on the bottom, the old fuel filter assembly. I'm going to bypass this completely. We're going to use an inline fuel filter with my own shutoff from now on. I've got a barbed 1/4-inch fitting. I think this is 1/4-inch male barb. And I'm just lightly screwing that in there right now. I've got the right, well, I don't know what it technically is, the one stabilizer down on this side. So it's kind of, I'm trying to lean it or tip it this way. I didn't do too well and I lost pressure, so now it's starting to tip back the other way. And I'm going to dump a ton of gas down in this tank and flush it out. Connect a hose to this that goes into another gas can while dumping a ton in the top of the tank, and hopefully it'll be enough. And this opening is wide enough now to flush a lot of that sediment or debris out. I've got a ton of gas in here. I've got the hose going from the bottom of the tank, threaded hose barb. Now what's really important about this hose barb is it doesn't protrude up into the tank. There's like no collar sticking up. It's just like a drain, you know what I mean? It's just a hole that the gas is going to go down in. There's no, yeah, you know what I mean. And then this hose goes down into this bucket here, and I'm going to dump a whole bunch of gas in here really fast, and we're going to give it a go. Looks like we're getting a whole bunch of debris in there. See all that crap that I'm flushing out? What I'll do is I'll filter this gas with a sediment filter and run it back through again. Do this a couple more times. Now if I had a bunch of rust in here inside this gas tank, I would also run muriatic acid in there. I should do that really, but I don't really have the time today. Muriatic acid will dissolve all the rust and instantly, almost instantly. So it's a really good idea if you got a bunch of rust in your gas tank from ethanol gas. So what I've got is just a paint filter here and a funnel. And I'm going to dump the gas, that dirty, contaminated gas that just came out of here, back in to the can. And it's going to filter out all that particulate, this chunks of crap, and then we're going to run it through again. I'm going to do this a couple of times. Cycle. Get in the bucket too. Looks like I've been mining for gold or panning for gold or something in a creek. You can see all the crap in the bottom. See all that? Crazy, huh? I'll do it one more time and we'll try it out. I'll look inside there and see if it cleared it out. Let me see if I can get the light in there. You can see, yeah, it's hard for you to see it, but right in the opening where the gas drains out, there is a massive amount of that hole is clogged. See it in the corner there? So I'm going to try to unscrew the thing and pull that stuff out with my hand. Holy crap. That might have been our problem, folks. Jesus. Alright, let me see if I can unscrew this. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, look at that. Wow. What is that? Rust? Some kind of, I don't even know what it is. We're gonna flush it again though. Hopefully one more time does the trick. All right, got it filled up. Everything's hooked back up again. You can see my clear fuel filter and my on and off, and I bypassed all that old nonsense. Just put a 1/4-inch threaded hose barb in there, and a regular clear air filter, shut off. I like to keep it simple. Keep it simple, stupid. And then here is my highly sophisticated air intake high performance filter. The guy before me had nothing at all on here, so I wanted something, and I wanted this long tube. Now I could have just put this rag over the end of this carburetor here, no problem, but I wanted the long tube so I have a little bit of vacuum here. The more vacuum I have, the better this carburetor is going to perform, and the more air stacking I get, basically the more air velocity that I get. Air coming in here pushes and gets pulled by air that's already in the pipe. It's like fluid momentum almost. So it's really good to have an intake. The old intake that was on this is non-existent anymore. That was that was gone years ago and probably lost. Here's some of the stuff that was in the gas tank. Some of the big stuff that was clogging it up. I had a huge snail shell too, and I can't find it now. It fell somewhere here on the ground, but that was clogging it up. A whole bunch of debris. And then here's what's in here alone, and then the stuff that was in the filters too. So I'm gonna run it under some heavy load now and see if it still acts up. I doubt it will. I have a suspicion that that was our problem, but who knows? You never know. I mean, that could have just been one of the problems, and on this machine, that is one of the problems. I'm slowly working out the kinks. So let's put it under some heavy load and see what happens. There we go, second gear, under load, up the hill. I've just been running it for a half hour. Wow, what a difference. It's not even bogging down. Oh my God. I'm gonna watch these lines so I don't take them out. That's insane. See these lines? This garage line is very low. Put it first. That comes close, boy. And the hose almost to the ground. Next are all the power, or all the hydraulic weights. And boy, do I got a lot of those. That's gonna get expensive quick, very quick. Very, very quick if I don't fix it. Listen to it run though. Oh my God, I've got that timing. I put another exhaust on it, so it's a little quieter. It's still not as quiet as I want. Maybe a better air filter will silence it up a little more. I think I'm lean. I'm not sure if I'm lean or if I'm not rich enough. The shuttle transmission grinds a little bit too, and every time it grinds, I get a little more particulate in my transmission, so I need to take care of that. Whether there's synchros in there, this whole thing's probably got to get split eventually, or something's got to get adjusted. I got to figure that out. See, before it would idle all day like this, but as soon as you put it under load, that's the true test. When you put a machine or an engine under load, when you start running those hydraulics, when you go up the steep hills, that's how you can really determine health and compression. So we are doing substantially better. I hope and pray it stays like this. I'm gonna make sure to treat this fuel and run non-ethanol as much as possible, or at least treat the ethanol fuel that I've been putting in it. Make sure to run it continuously. The machines I put non-ethanol in, I usually never have a problem with. The ones that I run ethanol in, I have a problem with. An old timer told me to add a little transmission fluid to the gas in this every time I add gas to it, just a shot or two of transmission fluid. He said it'll lubricate the lifters and it'll act like leaded gas almost. It'll simulate leaded gas, so it might run better that way. And because it was originally designed when leaded gas was out. So who knows, I might give it a shot and see what happens. You just burn like a kitten. And all the gauges work. I can't believe that all the gauges still work. Interesting gauges too. I don't know. Oh, that's MPH. I didn't know I had miles per hour. And it's different. Look at this mile per hour meter. I have never seen one like that. Yep, and just to reiterate, intermittent stalling out or random stalling out, random loss of power, misfire under load. There's a whole bunch of symptoms, but it's usually random and sporadic. After so many minutes, it's probably a fuel delivery issue, whether you're diesel or whether you're a gas engine equipment. You know, old equipment especially, it's a fuel delivery issue. Start with a fuel delivery and check with that tank, and it could be the culprit to your problem. And once again, thank you for tuning in. Stay frosty. Please give it a thumbs up if you got something out of this, and I hope you subscribe so you can see more like this. I do have some other good videos too that you might get something out of. Until the next time, we'll see you soon.
What am I saying?
Bye.
Bye.